I'm not going to tell you if this tire was worth the upgrade yet. That's next week's ride. But before I could find out, I had to get it installed. After a few rides in Florida sand, I started wondering if the stock front tire was holding me back. A lot of experienced riders suggested upgrading the front tire before changing anything else. So today I'm replacing the stock Dunlop D605 with the Kenda Washougal II. So obviously I have to loosen up everything, take the front wheel off. I got the pinch nuts loosened, and then I realized that I probably should have broken my axle nut first, because those pinch bolts had it kind of held in place so that the axle couldn't just turn in the wheel. So I ended up having to tighten those back down and break the axle nut, and then I was able to loosen everything else up. Once it was all loose, I put it up on the stand so that I could drop the tire. Remove the axle the rest of the way, paying attention to where the parts go in which order. I had to tap the axle out a little bit. It wasn't something you could just grab and pull. And then the wheel's free. I used the little valve stem core remover, let the air out. Then I like using these Tusk spoons that they have the axle wrenches already built into them. I just spoon the tire off of the wheel. Go around one side first. I like setting it on a 5-gallon bucket because then the sprocket, if it's the rear tire, but the brake caliper can sit inside the bucket. And it's not pressed against the floor. And I don't have to bend over quite as far. Then pop the bead off over the other side also. It's a little tricky to work around the rim locks, but it's not too bad. Once it was off, I went and cleaned the tube real quick because I'm going to be reusing it. And then I powdered it with talc powder, not baby powder. Baby powder now is just mostly cornstarch, and I found that gets sticky and retains moisture. So you want real talc powder. I just put it a little bit in a plastic bag with the tube and shook it up really well to get the powder spread evenly across the tube. Which also made my garage floor a little slippery, so a little bit of talc goes a long way. Be careful with it. Then put the valve core back in and you want to put just a little bit of air in it. I actually got a little bit more than I wanted, and I had to let some out when I went to put this back on the tube. But it makes it a lot easier than having a completely flat tube when you go to install it in the tire. Most tires are directional. Make sure you look for this little arrow when you're putting the tire on the wheel and put it in the direction of rotation, because it sucks to really get a tire on a rim and mounted to find out that it was on backwards. So double check for that little arrow. I forgot to spray this first side of the tire down when I was putting it on the bead, on the rim. So I remembered once I flipped it over, but I can definitely see why it's an improvement to use some kind of lubrication while you're putting the tire on the tube, on the rim. If you haven't done tires before, it can definitely be a struggle. The front tire is easier than the back tire, and dirt bike tires are definitely easier than street bike tires. So when you're working around the rim lock, it's easiest to put a spoon on either side of the rim lock and pull the bead away from the wheel, push the rim lock up into the tire, and then set the bead under the rim lock between it and the wheel. And then you can remove the spoons and it's in there. So you can see I let a little bit of air out of that tube. Now it's not flat, but it's floppy, so it slips down in there better than trying to cram an aired up tube into the tire. Sorry for the background noise. One of the neighbors started working on his yard. Then I remembered the spray, so I just use a little bit of dish soap and water to lubricate the tire, and it slips much better onto the rim. So this little tool is a bead buddy. I use that. It slips onto the spoke and it holds the wheel into the tire into the bead on the rim on one side while you work the rest of the tire around. And then you just keep taking small bites around the wheel, pushing the tire down into the bead. And I grabbed a third spoon. Sometimes it helps to hold it in one place while you're working your way around another. Then once I got to the rim lock, I did the same thing on that side. Put a spoon on either side of the rim lock, push it up into the tire, and then drop the bead between the rim lock and the wheel. You want to make sure the rim lock still moves freely in the wheel. Then remove the bead buddy after it's done its job. And spray it all down again, both sides, so that when you put air in it, the beads can slip right into place. Air it up to about 30 pounds or so until you hear the beads pop into place. It's not quite as loud on these tires as it is on a street bike tire. Then once the bead's set, you just drop your pressure back down to whatever your riding pressure is. For street, I stay at about 20 pounds. Off-road, so far I've been going like 12, 13. Then I put on a balancer. To set balance, you find out where the heaviest part of the wheel is, and you mark that. It's going to be the bottom, wherever the wheel stops. And then you put a weight directly across from that. I just use these spoke weights. They're different sizes from Amazon. You just get a set of them. And a little bit of thread lock on those Allen bolts, those little set screws to hold the weight in place. And you just keep turning the tire and adding weight until it starts stopping in a random place. If it keeps stopping in the same place, you need to add more weight. Once it goes random, then you know you're set. That's what they look like on a dirty wheel. Then you're ready to put the wheel back on. And that's pretty much just the reverse of taking it off. tighten everything down, torque it. Make sure you pump your brakes back up and then take it for a quick spin to make sure that it feels right, that everything's doing what it's supposed to do. And that's it.